Welcome to Southeastern 16, presented by FanDuel. I'm Chris Lee, joined by Jay Greeson and Brian Edwards. We are here to react to Alabama's road win at Missouri. Crimson Tide win that one 27-24 in a game that went down to the final minutes. We'll unpack all that for you in just a minute, but just a quick reminder first. We are brought to you by our friends at GameTime SIDEKICKS. They make this lovely 40-ounce tumbler that I put my ice water in this morning, officially licensed stainless steel drinkware, all SEC schools, 350 other universities, stainless steel sippy cups, tumblers, 40-ounce bottles, and shaker cups. SE16 gets you 20% off at GameTimeSidekicks.com. Also brought to you by the HOF app. Smart bettors rely on data. HOF hands you powerful analytics at your fingertips to tilt the odds in your favor, improve your chances of winning using historical data, matchup grades, trends, and player performance insights. HOF was created by Ivy League sports geeks to let everyday fans bet smarter. For a limited time only, our listeners will get a 7-day free trial. You also get 50% off your first month using code SE16 at checkout. Just download the HOF app on iOS or Android. Enter code SE16 and you're all set. Gentlemen, tried to warn people who thought Missouri was just going to be a pushover for Alabama. That wasn't going to be the case. Both teams played pretty well. I think Missouri's going to have more regrets at the end of the day. As for Alabama, hey, anytime you can go in the SEC and get a road win in anybody's building, I think that's a victory these days. So hats off to Alabama, which I think has taken another step towards playoff territory, and Ty Simpson, Jay, probably another step towards maybe Heisman contention. I mean, I think he's already in contention right there, but I think leaving today, maybe depending on what happens in Eugene tonight, Ty Simpson could end up being the front runner here.
He made two absolute big boy throws. The fourth down throw in what turned out being the touchdown drive was, I mean, I thought Jesse Palmer was going to need a cigarette after he broke the video down because, I mean, he was that satisfied with it. And the post was masterclass quarterbacking where he looked the safety towards the middle of the field and threw a dart. Somebody, Tyler, already put it in the chat, and I think big picture, and there's so many minute to break down about this game on what if, but big picture, Alabama said, we are not going to let the running game beat us. Bo Prabula, can you make enough plays? And I didn't think he played poorly. I'm not in a million years. The last interception will be dissected because he had a couple open guys in other spots. But what a great football game between two teams that absolutely will be in the discussion in that room in Texas in December, where the secret committee tries to convince us of the 12 teams going to the playoff.
Yeah, I thought the fourth down conversions were huge, obviously, and they had one against Vandy last week late in the first half on a 4th and 7 play when they were down 14-7. That was enormous. So their fourth down success the last few weeks has been fantastic, obviously. And I know back in the offseason, we all said maybe Ryan Grubb is was the missing ingredient that was not there last year. He's been pretty creative, and Ty Simpson just continues to play extremely, extremely well. Now, the only downer coming out, that looked like it might be a pretty serious shoulder injury for Jam Miller. And, I mean, obviously we hope not, but that looked like it might be something long term. Bama down to plus, they already moved it a little bit, down to plus 165 as in terms of the chalk to win the SEC championship game with our good friends at FanDuel. And Jay, I don't remember what they were the favorite coming in the weekend, but I want to say they were like plus 250 the other day. This is obviously a monster win. Ty Simpson, 3 tutties and no picks.
It was right at 250. It could have been 260. But to capitalize that before you direct us in the proper direction, Chris, not only the fourth down calls, the gumption of Kalen DeBoer, and I'm sorry, this is probably Kalen DeBoer's best game in Tuscaloosa. They responded from an early body blow. They answered all the noise and the environment advantages that Mizzou had, and that place is going to be special when they complete the end zone, friends.
Yeah.
And the fourth down calls, Grubb's call on the 4th and short, where he rolls Simpson out with the run pass option on the play Jam Miller got hurt, was fire play call.
Tremendous call. Yeah. But by the way, on that ends up, is it just me? I keep expecting to see like climbers on that wall in that unfinished end zone. Like it looks like a big climbing wall in Columbia there, but it cracks me up every time I see it. But hey, look, I thought just quick takeaways. There's more here than this, but let's start here. I think if you're Alabama, the thing I watch, I think the key stat for them in games is first downs, because they're just like a boa constrictor, man. I mean, they get the ball and they just suck the life out of you. Today it was 22-15. I think that was the big stat. And you know, look, hats off to Missouri. It got up 7-0 early. That makes it a little tougher, but then Bama scores 17 straight. And once you get down to Alabama, that style of play makes it even tougher. It feels like if you can get a punt out of them these days, it's a minor miracle. You know, I'm trying to remember, do they just have one punt at the end? I'd have to look up the stats here. Don't have that in front of me. I think they punted on fourth down late. I can't remember if they punted before that or not. But I think for Missouri, like if you know you make that many mistakes, the punt that didn't convert, the fake punt, the 2 interceptions, you know, you got to feel good. It doesn't feel like that's a game script where Missouri can get out first down by that many and trail and turnovers and be into the end of the game. I think some of that was a credit to Missouri's defense, holding, you know, Alabama out of the end zone to field goal attempts and things like that too. So I think both teams played well. I see some Missouri fans in the chat regretting Ahmad Hardy and his lack of carries. I think he had 12 for 4.3 plus. That was an issue with Vanderbilt last week. Vanderbilt got up in that game, and then Alabama took the lead, and just with the time of possession thing, just kind of took the running game away from them. Yeah, I mean, I'm not saying that there aren't points there, but that's just kind of what Alabama does to you guys.
Go ahead, bro.
Bama had 3 punts, but the time of possession point, you're right, Chris, 38-33 to 21-27. So they almost doubled them up on time of possession.
Yeah.
To your point, Chris, and to the questions about Hardy only having a dozen or so carries, one, he was out of the game back into the first half with some sort of injury.
Right.
And when they score in the last 4 or 5 minutes to go up 2 scores, you can't run the ball then anyway. I mean, yes, Ahmad Hardy is the best back in the league, and I think a lot of people on this platform have been saying that since July. But and his backup ain't bad either.
No, not at all. Roberts is a stud.
Here's another thing. I'm getting more and more bullish on Alabama's defense with every week.
Yeah.
I really watching Missouri. And look, you always say, hey, let's see when they play somebody. And Kansas is a somebody opponent, but Kansas's defense is the weak side of that team. It's the offense that's more of an issue. I really have liked Marquise Johnson and Kevin Coleman Jr. as downfield guys. I think they've got SEC level speed. Give them some breakaway threats. But today, Johnson 3 for 26, Coleman 1 for 2. I mean, I just can't believe the way they're non-factors. Alabama did the same thing last week to Vanderbilt's best receivers. They end up being almost non-factors at the end of the game. So I think you have to start giving some credit to Alabama's secondary and, of course, the pass rush. That I don't know that the sack numbers were gaudy today, but I felt guys like they got pressure on Prbula, gave him stuff to think about other than finding guys downfield, mucked up the pocket a bit. And I think that was something that probably when it's Alabama and it's Kalen DeBoer and it's all those guys, I think offense is always going to be the talking point. However, I think the defense for the Crimson Tide, what they've done the last 2 weeks, and especially today, getting stops when they really needed them, forcing turnovers. Bray Hubbard, by the way, I think if you do an SEC Player of the Year list on defense, he's got to be in that conversation. I think that the defense playing really well is a little bit of an undercovered storyline for Alabama right now, guys.
I agree. They only had 2 sacks, but I didn't feel like Prabula was comfortable in the pocket
No.
all day. He was not comfortable. He was looking to get out of there, which he did successfully and made a few plays. But yeah, they the stats don't tell you how much pressure they got on him.
No, true, but also that I think if you're going to ask some tough questions, was Prabula one read and run? I mean, it felt like he was, and maybe it's a chicken and the egg kind of conversation that the pressure was getting to him. But when you're a quarterback and you make your first read and then you're looking to see who's in your lap, you're going to have a hard time in this league because there's always going to be somebody in your lap. And look, man, there's so many different line items to get to, big picture, small picture. A play that I don't know how many people are going to talk about, Missouri goes right down the field on the first drive.
Yeah.
And they have 2 monster defensive stops.
Yeah.
And don't get me wrong, Zion Young is going to be an NFL first rounder. But this is a completely different game if he doesn't stand with the Alabama player, get the personal foul penalty that moves the sticks on what was going to be 3rd and 19 and let that place get lathered. And who knows what direction. I mean, it's like in an underrated movie called Mr. Destiny, Michael Caine is a ghost, and he shows you what's possible. And he goes back and he says, for every big moment in your life, if you make a different decision, the forks in the road go in different directions. That's a completely different game, in my opinion, if they go 3 and out and punting on 4th and 20.
And then after that, it was a 3rd and 8 play, and Simpson threw a dime to the freshman. And by the way, how about the freshman Brooks? In fact, he had a team high 58 receiving yards with 4 catches today.
Yeah. Here's another call, and I'm not. This is what I don't know what we do about this anymore. Like I like the fact that targeting calls are legislating some of the hits out of the game that end careers and damage brains and all that. So this is not blaming the refs there, but that first half targeting play on Derek Meadows where Marvin Burks got ejected for targeting. Like I've watched that play 3 or 4 times. I don't know what he's supposed to do. He's coming out
of the one when the guy got laid out.
Yeah,
in the first half where
I didn't think that was targeting either.
I mean, receiver gets airborne and he's coming down. The defender's running to him.
Yes.
Like I think sometimes there's like this written in expectation into these calls that the athletes that are moving 20 miles an hour in one direction, in like a third of a second are supposed to somehow hit on the brakes or get out. Like if you get out of the way there and don't hit him, then what happens? Maybe it's a bust for a touchdown. Right. If you hit him there, it's the defenseless receiver thing. Like what is he supposed to do? I think sometimes the thing I don't like about targeting, you give these guys a window in which they're supposed to do something to make it not targeting that I don't think is by the law of physics possible sometimes. Does that sound right?
It's a literal car crash. I mean, is it
right?
And if a car's coming at you, I mean, it's split second. I mean,
all right.
I didn't think it was targeting.
If we're going to go on our rants, because I don't know if we can discuss what is and what is not targeting. Here's one that I have been on a soapbox for a long time now. It is past time with the modern advances in technology in football. We have got to chip the football. We have got major college football in the NFL. It needs to be chipped every single time because we didn't have an angle on the 4th down on the fake punt.
I know. How do we not have a camera angle there?
I mean,
because I thought he got it, but nothing. They certainly didn't show us anything where you could say for sure.
Well, you couldn't, and it completely devalues replay when if you've only got 3 angles, either give me full replay or give me none. I mean, for God's sake, you can't have a drone over the top of this thing,
right?
Skip the football. If it goes out of bounds, we know where it went out of bounds. We know how far it got. We know if it broke the plane of the goal line. I mean, dear Lord, man, you can tell me that Caden Proctor is running 21 miles an hour on a pulling play because he's so chipped up that everybody knows his land speed.
Right.
And
Yeah.
it's a whole different conversation too. Caden
Well,
Proctor's mother. But
yeah.
I mean, it's time to chip the football, friends.
Yeah.
And until we do, all it is going to do is lend itself to, big boys get the calls in those spots. You know what I mean? Because they're going to say, well, we don't have the evidence. It's a judgment call, whatever. So,
Well,
right or wrong, that's where I think that's part of where it gets us.
Can I give us an update on what's going on in Oxford?
yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Ole Miss is facing a 4th and 6, ahead 24-21 with 1:13, and I guess Lane was trying to draw him off sides, and now he's going to punt, and Wazoo's going to have the ball. No timeouts left, but they're going to get the ball. Probably going to be a touchback, or they're going to get buried deep. But they do have a pulse.
Which is staggering.
Staggering.
Staggering against a team that gave up 59 to North Texas.
And Washington in back-to-back weeks. Now, I mean, Ole Miss was obviously looking ahead to Georgia, but they were looking ahead this much? Yikes.
Yeah, we'll get to that one as soon as it's over. Trying to think of other stuff that stood out today.
Oh, I got a couple.
Yeah, go for it, Jay.
All right. We need to all and there's no more overreaction. Ty Simpson's the best player in the SEC.
Ooh, that's a hot take.
He's at least the most valuable.
No, I'm not like pushing back on it. I think that's just a strong take is all I'm saying.
And I mean, forget Heisman odds. Ty Simpson's played him to a spot that whenever Mel Kiper drops on ESPN radio this week, he's going to be giving Ty Simpson plenty of flowers about being atop the draft board.
Yeah.
And I didn't think he played that bad at Florida State when he seemed to be catching a lot of flack. I thought he
Did you hear the stat that Palmer dropped out that since Florida State, and granted it's been up and down competition, but Vandy's in there and so was a couple others. If you take out the drops, he's completing 82% of his passes.
Yeah.
He's completing 70.3 anyway, with the 13-1 TDI and T ratio and 2 rushing touchdowns.
That was coming. But to me, it's more like you can quote stats all day. You know me, I love my stats. But to me, it is more like, what do you do to make winning plays for your team? What do you do when it's – and Jay, I think – and he did this last week too against Vanderbilt. It's the little things that he does, like that RPO option today on the little dump-off pass.
Yep.
Jam Miller after they fake it to Miller. He rolls out, waits for the defender to get just close enough, and then flips the ball to his receiver. Unfortunately, looked like Jam Miller got concussed on that play, which that's going to be a big factor for next week. We can hit that a little bit later. But it's little things like that in his decision-making that I see. It's not – the stat line's not going to jump off the page at you today. He's 23 of 31 for 200, 3 touchdowns, no picks, and he runs it 10 times for 7. But if you watched the game and watched how he played the game and watched his decision-making, just like last week and just like the other weeks, that to me is why I need to see the kid at Oregon more play a little bit more. We focus our time on the SEC, but, it feels to me like he's best college football player I've watched with any frequency this year.
All right, my next one. We rave, and rightly so, about Oklahoma's defense, Texas's star-studded defense. Mizzou's front seven doesn't have to apologize for nothing.
No.
I mean, that group, because look, we got an Ole Miss update?
Yeah, we got a PI on, and it's a good call with 1 second left. But, I mean, they're still got a lot, it's just setting up a Hail Mary.
All right.
I see some frustrated Missouri fans in the chat today. Hey, look, you didn't play your best game, in my opinion. And I'm not sure that Alabama is not the best team in the country.
And they've
you still got that close.
And they're now the 3rd shortest odds behind only Ohio State plus 380, Oregon plus 600, Bama plus 650 at FanDuel.
Yeah. All right, we'll watch the Hail Mary here in Oxford. I don't think they have.
Yeah, I don't even know if
you're going to have a hook and ladder is
start.
what you're going to have. The hook and ladder.
Yeah.
I don't think they've got the. I don't think they can get it to the end zone from there.
He might could throw it 65 yards. He just threw it.
The Cordell Stewart special.
I don't know. He's got Cordell's arm. He definitely don't have Cordell's arm.
Not a lot of people do.
No. Oh, man. But, yeah, wow. Ole Miss, man, just complete no-show today.
Yeah. Well, while we're waiting on that one to end, reminder, we are brought to you by the Yearly Company, a Nashville-based fine jewelry brand built on tradition, designed for meaning. Each piece is handcrafted from solid 14-karat gold and natural gemstones, made to measure for a perfect fit, backed by a lifetime guarantee. Every Yearly Company bangle is custom size, so knowing your size is the most important first step before ordering. That's where their sizing kit comes in. It is a perfect place to start, especially for husbands who want to have sizes ready now. So shopping closer to the holidays is effortless. Use code SE16KIT. That gets you your sizing kit free at checkout. Also brought to you by ROKFORM. If Ole Miss loses this thing here in a second, there's going to be Ole Miss fans that want to throw their phones. And if you do, I hope you've got the world's strongest magnetic phone case, which ROKFORM makes. It gives you extreme protection, super strong magnets, rock lock secure mounting. This is the busiest time of the year with the new iPhone release. SEC 25 gets you 25% off your entire order as Washington State runs the predicted hook and lateral and runs out of bounds well short of the goal line. So your final 24-21 Ole Miss. Also brought to you by HOVI Dry Goods. Your team might stink, but your team's hats don't. You can see my Titans hat. I've got two of them. They are my two favorite Titans hats. And you look no further than HOVI Dry Goods for high-quality headwear with a great fit and unique designs. Bad Beat. Get you 15% off your entire order at HOVIDryGoods.com. That is HOVI. Gentlemen, let's finish up on Alabama, Missouri. Anything else we've got that we left on the table before we go to Ole Miss here?
All right, quickly. Go ahead, Brian.
No, I was just going to say Jam Miller might have been concussed, but I think he had a shoulder injury as well, which I think long-term might be the bigger concern. Didn't y'all think his shoulder was injured as well?
I don't know. They took his helmet off early, and the way he was reacting when he was on the ground, two things about that. One, that the Missouri trainers instantly went to him was quite telling.
Right.
Two, the way he walked off without a helmet and with help, it could very well be both.
Right.
And
I think it was both.
He missed the start of the season with what, Brian?
Oh yeah. Well, what was it at the start of the year?
He missed the first 3 or 4 games.
Yeah, I can't remember exactly what it was, but let me see if it was a shoulder because I can find it real quick. Go ahead.
All right, a quick side tangent, and
y'all go ahead. I'll look it up.
You folks in the chat, I'm unbelievably interested in what you had to say on this. I actually enjoy Jesse Palmer as an analyst, but I really wish Joe Tessitore needs to develop a change of speeds because that dude is professional wrestling excited on he ran for 3 on 2nd and 2. I mean, it is. I mean, mix in some decaf, Joe Tess.
No doubt. You were right. It was a collarbone injury.
I thought it was.
Back in August. Yeah.
Okay.
So I bet it's
could have been the same thing.
Yeah. And I bet it's a concussion also. So he's probably out a while.
We talked about it a bunch, Chris, and I know we'll talk about it early next week when we do our power rankings. But everybody knows all the regulars here know my hierarchies of the 4 most important dudes in your to win an SEC championship. Head coach, quarterback, strength and conditioning coach, schedule maker. Does anybody have a tougher road than what Alabama going Georgia, home at Vandy in a revenge game, going to Como, and you know who they got next week?
Tennessee.
Yeah.
Third Saturday in October.
4-game gauntlet right there, friends.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
And, hey, at South Carolina's not a layup after that.
And they've still got LSU. They've still got Oklahoma with the presumably healthier John Mateer. He's playing today, by the way. in the Red River Shootout, which is now on.
And now I can put it on there. Thank you for
and just made a really
reminding me.
nice throw across the field. So I guess that answers some questions. Hey, Ole Miss. Let's hit that one. Did not see that one coming. I mean, I guess you could say it's a spot game. It's, you know, although they had a bye week to prepare. So I would have bought that a little bit less ahead of time. That would be a letdown game. I mean, some big missed opportunities for Ole Miss in the first half, or else it plays out probably differently in the final score. Ole Miss was trailing until the final seconds of the first half, dominated the stat sheet 263 to 130 at half, but one critical turnover, a turnover on downs at the 5, and a missed field goal. So those were points that never happened for Ole Miss. Washington State scored on one of the most brilliant play calls I've ever seen. You just have to go back and watch their first half touchdown. Never seen one quite like that. It wasn't complicated, but it was super effective. Certainly the safeties bit on that one. And then Washington State scores to start the half before Chambliss gets a 17-yard touchdown run late in the third for Ole Miss to go up and eventually hang on to win. But yeah, I mean, maybe some of the narrative is Washington State's getting a lot better, but this is a game where Ole Miss almost always takes care of business with authority, and just today did not.
And if you're looking ahead, I mean, the fact that you trail, all of the second quarter pretty much till with 31 seconds left, you take a 3-point lead. You would think, okay, we've woken up at halftime, and okay, now let's go secure victory, and then we can move on to Georgia. And Washington State goes 7 plays, 75 yards on the opening drive, and then you don't answer. And boy, it was a little hairy there toward the end.
I don't know. We were all understandably enthralled with the other one, especially through the second half overlaps of both. Did you guys see what Lane Kiffin told this may be the single greatest halftime coach interview quote ever?
No, I did not see it, but I can't wait.
So he's walking off the field, and whatever SEC network hot pants walks out there and puts a microphone in front of his face, asks the question, great question, what did you tell Trinidad Chambliss after the touchdown late in the first half? And he went, well, I looked at him and I said, we need more of that. We need less of that Division II crap you were doing earlier. And I mean, I thought, God bless, man. The world needs more Lane Kiffin.
Yeah, we do. So do my Gators.
Let's see. Stat lines in this one today. Chambliss, 20 of 29, 253, 2 touchdowns, no picks. Runs for just 15. Kewan Lacey, 24 for $142. So lead into Ahmad Hardy's rushing lead. Coincidentally, Lacey, of course, at Missouri a year ago. Yeah, I don't know what to really take away from this one. Again, Washington State had gotten better after those 2 early blowouts. Sometimes teams in the transfer portal, when they are that dependent on it. And State, look, State is a team that's lost Cam Ward and John Mateer in the portal. So they are, right pickings for other teams. But look, I don't care what excuses you make. Ole Miss should have been more in control of this. They're 30-point favorites, 32?
32.
Yeah.
And by the way, Chambliss's Heisman odds took a major hit, down to 33-1 now. Weren't they 12-1 after the LSU game? I'm pretty sure they were. I remember I saw them that low, and now they're 33.
Yeah. Speaking of which, Brian, what have we got at FanDuel? Is it's updating after these games come in? I think you gave an update on Alabama title odds a minute ago. Be curious to see with the refresh what that does.
I got it right here.
Yeah.
So Bama, well, they moved them back to 160. They were 165 there for a minute. Georgia plus 600 or 6-1. A&M and Oklahoma plus 650. Ole Miss plus 850. Texas 13-1. LSU 20. Tennessee 22, Florida and Mizzou 30, and Vandy 45, Auburn 100, and the rest of the league 300-1.
Is that to win the SEC?
To win the SEC championship game. As far as the Natty, like I said, Bama plus 650, the third shortest. Georgia shares the fourth shortest with Miami. Miami just went from 10-1 to plus 950. So Georgia's got the fifth shortest at 10-1. Oklahoma, the sixth shortest at 15-1. A&M 16-1. And Texas 20-1. Ole Miss 27. LSU 33. And the Vols Vols 40. Missouri 45. And Vandy 80, along with Auburn and Florida 125-1.
Yeah, and if you didn't catch it earlier in the day, and boy, is it hard to explain Alabama now, but Florida State beaten by Pitt at home. So that will give FSU a third loss and I think almost certainly knock the Seminoles out of the playoff picture.
Oh, 100%. It puts Mike Norvell on a boiling hot seat. That's for sure.
Yeah, but you don't want that as a Gator alum.
Extend money, Mike. Extend him.
We got a lot of love for other teams' coaches in Florida, I've noticed.
Hey, dude, quick side tangent. Because somebody just threw his name in the chat. Not only do I think Kalen DeBoer had his best game as an Alabama coach today, not only do I think black hoodies are now about to be the rage in Tuscaloosa, since he's 12-2 when he wears the black sweatshirt. The way they're getting Caden Proctor involved in the offense is fun.
Yeah.
You know, after what was the second goal play from the 4 or whatever, where he got, to the 1 or maybe inside it, I'm like, why don't you just line up with him again?
Make it the college
and just run that again. Because the next play, a guy trips on, steps on Simpson's foot. He goes down before the handoff. Play went for a touchdown, but got overturned on review when they rightfully noted his knee went down. Like I've never, and one play and goal playoff or play calls from the 1 just baffle me at times with, especially going out of the pistol and all that. But
shotgun. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, but hey, with Caden Proctor, that makes like a ton of sense, right? Let the big guy get some momentum, because once he gets the 2, and you've not laid a hand on him, what are the odds he's not going to score unless he loses the football? I think they're slim.
And Brian, I know FanDuel, even with their array of options, doesn't have this on the board, but I swear to goodness, I would bet a mortgage payment that Caden Proctor is going to throw a pass, and probably a touchdown pass, before the season's over.
And you know what? The first prop bets ever came about because of the refrigerator Perry in the 85 Super Bowl. That's what created prop bets, was the fridge. So maybe they will have something up there later in the year.
We need like a Caden Proctor punt, pass, and kick competition.
As long as I get to watch it from afar, because I don't want to be near that dude, because in case I made him mad, that guy, that's the type of human that would just squash you like a grape, and he wouldn't even know it.
Right. I'd love to see Caden Proctor with a punt. That might be interesting. All right, gentlemen, any parting thoughts before we go? Because, man, we got some football to watch. Texas is down 3-0 to Oklahoma in the first. By the way, Oregon just went on top of Indiana in a national game of interest. So,
as Brian said, first team to 9 in the Red River wins. So,
and here comes another punt from Texas. And a second ago, I saw Arch throw a ball across his body, rolling left. So that can't.
Well, Brian, I appreciate you giving this podcast your full attention.
Hey, what is SEC?
What did you expect?
I'm a multitasker. I have SEC on the brain.
Brian, if I set the over under on Budweiser's at 2.5 to this point, are you over or under?
0? I'm 0.
Zero. I would have cashed a plus money bet.
Well, what are those? Hey, I do have one in the freezer door getting really cold right now that I'm going to pop right when this ends.
Any chance you join me and Chris tonight for the nightcap?
If the Gators win, I'm coming. If the Gators win, I'm coming, beer in hand.
Are there more beers involved when Florida wins or loses? I think I know the answer, but I just have to ask.
That's a great question, and I think there's more when we lose.
Okay, that's kind of what I figured. So
yeah, I think it's more when we lose.
All right, well, We'll be back. We've got 2 more of these to come after the afternoon window. Tennessee and Arkansas are going to kick off here momentarily. They're underway in Dallas, as we mentioned. And, we'll get those. We'll have another window for the night games, and that'll be our evening wrap-up show. So if you guys have not subscribed to the channel, do that if you don't mind. That costs you nothing. Enable your notifications if you want to know when we have content out. That also costs you nothing. And Brian's got something here.
Okay, so when we did the bets and ball games pod the other day, we did not have props for Dallas Wilson yet, I don't think. And that's the Florida wide receiver at A&M tonight. I like him over 69.5 receiving yards was at last look on FanDuel. But let me go there real quickly, and I've got it right here. And I also like him anytime touchdown. So let's see here. Oh, wait, receiving props. Dallas Wilson. 65.5. He's going down, even better. And anytime, oh wait, where's the touchdown props? Touchdown scorer props. We have Dallas Wilson. It's gotten better, plus 200 from plus 180. I can't believe people. Wow, interesting. Love it.
All right.
Do you like that, Jay? Do you like that? Do you endorse those plays?
I completely endorse those plays because if Florida's going to stay competitive, they're going to need Dallas Wilson to be the Dallas Wilson he was 2 weeks ago.
Last week.
Yep. By the way, guys, early returns on John Mateer's right hand.
Pretty good.
Like nothing ever happened. I mean, nobody thought he was. I shouldn't say nobody thought he was going to play.
Hey, you want to talk about look up FanDuel right now, Mateer Heisman, and I bet it is falling like a stone in water.
It was 10-1 a minute ago, so I'm going to look right now. And here, I got 2 more hot takes for tonight with Auburn and with Dallas Wilson. If Cam Coleman gets 12 to 15 targets tonight, Auburn wins. If Dallas Wilson gets 12 to 15 targets tonight, Florida wins. And if they get less than 12 targets, they both lose. And the Heisman update, Mateer, he's still at 10-1 right now, but something to monitor. Oh, whoa. He just went to 15-1. Did he just throw an interception?
He just threw a pick, but there's a flag on the play. So
yeah, he just popped to 15.
Threw it right to Malik Muhammad
on it and got it at 15-1.
One interception knocks you down from 10-1 to 15-1.
Yeah, well, he threw that right to a defender. In fact, it was so right to a defender, I thought that was going to be like a defensive hold or something that got overturned, but did not. So yeah,
that pain remedy is starting to wear off. Is what's happening.
They need forget
Brady Cook.
Forget the Oklahoma surgeon that they want to draw a statue to. They need to get some Brady Cook horse tranquilizers and get that guy back out there where he's not. He ain't
right.
Brian Edwards on a UFC night.
Yeah, I don't know if the problem was he might have had a little more zip on that ball if he was 100%. I don't know if it was that or just didn't see the defender. I'd have to watch it again, but looked like he could have put a little bit more on the ball maybe. So, yeah, keep an eye on that. We'll be talking about that tonight and everything else. Jay Greeson, any final words before we end today on this one?
I'm nervous as a cat burglar about tonight.
All right. That could be said for many games.
Hey. Go Vols offense. Team total over 40 or 41.5.
Yeah,
that feels like a lock, but I thought Tennessee to cover over UAB was too. So that's what you get if you take advice from me.
I got a senior in high school, and he's blessed to be picking between 2 of the elite institutions in America:
Auburn and Princeton,
Auburn and Yale. And
we know who's got better basketball.
And shut up. And
man,
if the Tennessee offense doesn't show up, then the Greeson clan may have to be sending him to community college because we're invested.
All right, we'll be invested in this afternoon. We'll keep an eye on everything. We'll be back with a recap of these when it's over, and then again tonight when everything's done, and we'll have a final recap on that one with our thoughts on the day. So for Jay Greeson and Brian Edwards, I'm Chris Lee. God bless you guys. Have a great rest of your afternoon. Thank you for watching. This is Southeastern 16, presented by FanDuel.